Hi guys, video today is going to be on the Captured King Tiger. This is a US tier 8 heavy tank. It's a premium and it fights up to tier 10s. Now this is an expensive tank normally. Wargaming charged 15,000 gold for it. And it's not one I initially was going to get because I thought it was going to be, a Tiger 2 that I'd be charging an arm and a leg for. However, I saw Jocko playing it, and I saw him having good game after good game to the point where I was struggling to keep up with him. And while Jocko can make any tank seem amazing, this tank was performing better than I expected the Tiger 2 to perform. So it caught my eye, and then it was available on the trading program, and with Jocko's help I picked it up. So in this, I'm just going to go through some of its upsides and downsides like I normally would do. Now we're on Lakeville. We're not fighting tier 10s thankfully, just tier 9s, but I'm going to take this to the town anyway. As well, that's why I take heavy tanks on this map, and it's where most heavy tanks should go. Now in this, I'm platoon with my mate Lee Fernie, and well, Lee is a super unit. That means he's really quite good at the game, and that means that if you see us both playing together, shoot Lee. Don't shoot me, shoot Lee. He loves taking one for the team and being the focus of attention. He can't get enough of it. So yeah, feel free to shoot him. Right, quickly onto the tank. I'll go through the downsides and then I'll do the upsides. Going through the downsides isn't going to take long at all. Worst part about the tank, for me personally, is that it's a bit sluggish. Tops out at about 35, but it feels quite slow. And going up any kind of hill really hurts the engine. It slows right down. Not as slow as some heavy tanks, it's faster than a VK168 for example, but yeah, it just feels slow. The other downside will be the AP penetration. It's an 88mm gun, meaning it gets 212 pen on the AP, and that's not much, and if you low roll it's even less. The APCR gets about 259 though, which is better. So if you're bottom tier or you're facing tier 9 heavy tanks, loading up the APCR like I've done right now isn't a bad idea. Now on the upsides, the gun thankfully is amazing. It's really accurate. Its base accuracy stat is about 0.32 and the aiming time is about 2.3 seconds. And that's without, vents, brothers in arms, any of that. So if you've got those on as well, the gun is a laser. Now I do have a gun rammer, I've got vents, a vertical stabilizer, my crew's got brothers in arms, plus smooth ride, snapshot, I've got cola. So for me this gun is fantastic, and my rate of fire with this build is just a little bit less than 5 seconds. About 4.8, 4.9, which for a tier 8 heavy tank is amazing. And here we can just see the gun at work, it just churns out damage. Now, as well as the fact that means you can have a really steady output of damage, it does have other benefits as well. For one, it means if you've got AP loaded and a tier 10 rolls around the corner, you fire your AP shell into his track to keep it in place, and you can quickly switch to your APCR shell and you're ready to fire again in less than 5 seconds. So switching ammo is, not too bad on this tank, thankfully. Don't have to wait for ages. The other good side to it is it does mean that if you do come across a tank that you are struggling to pen, let's say an E3 shows up, it's at a bad angle and you just can't get through it, then you can quite easily perma-track things and just keep them in a bad position and then hope, your team or artillery takes. Now the armour of the tank it's okay, to be fair. It's bouncing a lot more damage than I thought it would. I don't recall the Tiger 2 when I played it bouncing much. The front of the turret is the strongest armour, so if you can get hull down you should. However, the top of the turret is quite weak and it's at an angle, so on flat ground people can shoot that, and any tank over 120 mil is going to pen. Now here I'm using my gun depression and you can see that to the enemies in front of me, it's flattened out my turret, so they can't hit that soft top of it. The tank gets 8 degrees of gun depression, so if you can use that to hide the weak kind of slope on the top of the turret, then you should definitely do so. Can't get hull down, then side scraping is ideal, and if you can't do that, just angle your tank at least, because that'll still help increase the effectiveness of your upper plate. Don't angle it too much though, that's also kind of important. I'm trying to help out Lee here. I mean, he's got it handled anyway, but I'm just trying to put some extra damage into this tank. Then we're going to focus on the tanks that are over the road. These two tanks work really quite well in a platoon because the Chrysler K can charge in ahead a little bit and use its frontal armour to block some of the enemy shots, and then this one's got the rate of fire to give it some support. And there we can see the reticule aiming in nice and fast and just see the rate of fire at work. It can take this tank a while sometimes to get to where it needs to go, but once it does, it just lays down withering support fire. It's not a tank that you should underestimate if you're fighting against one. If you are fighting against one, well, I mean, you take it out like you would do a standard Tiger II. If you're newer to the game, then you want it to be aiming at the lower plate if you can. The upper plate, providing you're not in a bottom tier tank, it's not too strong. Tier 7 Prem shells will, should for the most part cut through the upper plate. If it's angled, it does become tougher. If you're in a tank that's got like 150 odd millimeter gun, you can, even if it's hull down, you can cut through the front of the turret. Or like I say, if you can get shots on the top of the turret, it's quite easy to overmatch that if you've got a large gun. And doing so often tends to cause, a lot of damage to the tank or its crew damage. Now here, turn back because I want to get back to the base. It's an Object 257, unfortunately for me. They can be a bit of a pain to pen if you've not got a good shot on that lower plate. I do have good accuracy though, so engaging targets at range isn't an issue in this tank, which is nice. It means if you're bottom tier, you can hang back and, be a support fire tank. And if you're top tier, you can get stuck in and go and brawl a little bit. It's also not really affected by maps so much, this tank, so it's nice and versatile, which I do like in a premium tank. It also gets a 60% silver bonus, and these shells are quite cheap. So for earning silver, this tank is amazing. Not the best crew trainer, I think it's got about a 15% XP bonus, which isn't amazing. It will train crews, but there's better ones out there. This one's a silver earner. And it's very, very good at that. However, with that said, whilst it is a great silver earner, and whilst I really do like the tank, it's not worth 15,000 gold. Honestly, I don't think any tank I own, and I've got a fair few premium tanks, are worth 15,000 gold. It's a lot of money for one tank. If it was 10 to 12,000 gold, then yeah, I'd say go for it. If you like Tiger IIs but you want one for your American line, then pick it up. But 15,000, for me, at least 15,000 is a bit steep. It's entirely possible that you've got plenty of money and you'd like an American tank that's got a nice accurate gun, because some of the tier 8 ones can be a bit wonky, and 15,000 isn't anything to you. And if that's the case and you fancy it, then if it's available, yeah, fair play to you, pick it up and I'm sure you'll love it. But for the most part, I'd advise waiting for it to become available as a personal offer, a deal of the week, or pick it up via trading. If you can do that, then it's well worth the money. Now I'll go through the stats for you. I'll let you see just how good that gun is. And these are the base stats, like I say, so if you've got a rammer and vents and things, it makes it even better. Rammer will obviously get your rate of fire better, your vents will improve your accuracy, aiming time, add food in there as well. The view range is nice as well. 400 meters is decent. Actually, I run it with rammer, vents and burst stab, but you can slap optics on it and spot your own targets if you want. I'll go through the armour. Now, the machine gun port is the same thickness as the rest of the upper plate, but because it's round, if the upper plate is angled, the machine gun port is going to be the weakest part to hit it still, just because it can't be angled like the rest of the upper plate can. And this shows the weakness on top of the turret. It's something I've used against Tiger II drivers before now. It's only, something you can hit in certain situations, but you still do have to be wary of that. And if you've got a Tiger II slightly below you, let's say you're on Westfield and one's driving up a hill and you're above it or something like that, then you can get shots in through that part really, really easily. Because if you're shooting down at it, it's only 40mm thick. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you liked it, please do hit the subscribe button if you've not already, and feel free to leave me any feedbacks in the comments. I'll get another video done for you as soon as I can. Thanks, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Cheers.